Live. This is not a facade, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this.
No,
it's getting weird in a hotel room.
Same room.
In Charlotte.
Right.
For a second day in a row.
In Charlotte, North Carolina.
Well, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Introduce yourself.
I'm Josh Zolan. I'm the CEO of Windy City Restaurants.
And I'm Taz Sutherland, and I work at Walmart and I have the best beard known to me.
That's right.
And I'm Lisa Z, Shrimp and Grit.
Sure.
My new nickname.
I'm Rich Maliki. Hi, Internet.
What's up, Internet?
What is up, Internet?
That's right. That's right. So listen, we're fired up in a hotel room.
Fired
In an
up.
undisclosed room. I cannot tell you again.
All the viewers came in, by the way.
All
Got
the viewers
9
are here?
people on this part. I can't see the
Boom.
LinkedIn.
9 people. Nice.
All right, welcome.
Jesus is in the building.
Welcome.
It's a nice team there.
My sister is in the building. Get back to work.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Harris. What's up?
So, what are we fired up about today? Did we have avocado? Was that the?
Yes.
Yeah, avocado.
So we're fired up about avocados.
Yeah. So what's the deal with the big seed?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Who designed
Yeah,
that?
that's true. And healthy fats. Is that an oxymoron? Is that
Yeah,
not an
it's-
oxymoron?
yeah.
What is that?
Well, I'm a healthy fat. No, I mean, I'm legit. Like, I'm the good fat, right? Like, am I the good fat? I'm the good fat in the group, right? So that's legit.
People are going to be like, what?
Why are we watching this?
What are they drinking in North Carolina?
Welcome to episode 1 of 3 Guys in a Hotel Room. But we should get fired up about some things. I mean, we saw an amazing keynote today by Walter Bond. I think we all had some good takeaways from that, Taz. I know you met him.
Oh yeah,
Walking the floor.
him. Yeah, he was walking the floor down the exhibit hall, and I got to tell you, first off, the speech blew me away. He started talking about his dad, like he lost his dad, and that whole I don't have that coach anymore. Now I lost my dad in 2012.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't tear up at a conference, right? Like you can't. There's no crying in baseball, right? You know, so that hit home. But I saw him later walking the floor, and I was just gonna go up. Like I know he gets it all the time, like great speech, right? But
Yeah.
dude, he did great. So I'm getting in there. I'm like, I just had to say great speech, and then he stops and engages and talks to us. Like how many speakers do you know, like pro speakers like that on that level, right? He says he's a Hall of Fame speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Stopped, talked to us, and you know what he says? He's like, "I'm from Walmart." Yeah. I'm like, I'm 20 years, and he's like, "That's amazing." He's like, "Good job, coach." I'm like, "Oh, no."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get all misty-eyed, right? And he goes, "What do you do for Walmart?" And I'm like, "Did you just ask me what?" Wow, this guy cares. So I'm fired up. That's what we're talking about.
And we just
engage.
Yeah. And we just saw him off the elevator, and he remembered you.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy that's paying attention when he's talking to you. I think it was a pretty powerful speech, especially the stuff that we talked about yesterday with systems and procedures.
Absolutely.
I had no idea that that's really what was going to be talked about today. What he was talking about was, putting these systems in place and having that coach as the leader. We're not really leaders; we're coaches.
Yeah.
And talking about Michael Jordan.
Yeah, dude, and it was just wild the way, he really put it into perspective. And he said when Jordan came into the league, right? And I've actually used this speech with my team before too. Not nearly as good as that guy did, but I've used this before. But it's true. When Michael Jordan came into the league, he had this unbelievable talent, right? And everybody knew that he was an unbelievable talent, but he was arrogant, and he was pushy, and he never won a championship. They always fell short. Until they brought in Phil Jackson. And to Walter's point today, right, it wasn't just Phil Jackson. It was that Phil Jackson brought his system, the triangle offense. And it wasn't until you plugged in Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, and Michael Jordan into his triangle offense that they actually began winning. And then what happened, right? And then he leaves the Bulls, right? And he goes on to coach, the Lakers?
Yep.
And then same thing.
It's Shaq.
Yep.
And
Kobe.
And what was the third?
Rest in peace
Yeah.
to the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Who was the third over there?
The point is the system
Yeah.
works.
That's the point.
The triangle.
We don't
He
want
brought the
that.
triangle with him, and he won more championships.
Derek Fisher, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, and that says so much. Because we're sitting here talking about this yesterday. I'm sitting here in my own head thinking about things as you're growing, you're building. You have to have these things in place. And he even said, if you don't have these systems in place, and you think you're going to be successful, you're fooling yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about the core values. You know, he was very animated.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You
the
know?
core, and he's so spot on. He's the core values, and this one hit home too, right? Like he was talking about dad, right? But then he was talking about he goes, these corporations call me, right? I get that, right? And understand, like I love the corporation I'm working for, right? But it's big, so you have these pockets where like the team is magic,
Mhm.
right? And then you also have pockets where it's like it's just not working, right?
Yep.
And he's right. He's like, is the team not working or is the coach not working?
Right.
Right.
And he even
Right.
said, when things go wrong,
Yeah.
who do they replace? Not the
Yeah.
players.
Not the players, the coach, right? And he goes on, right? So he's talking about that. He says, here's what happens. He goes, if the coach doesn't say, you're playing for me now, this is my system, everybody's just like, well, I got my own values then. I'll just do my own system,
way.
right?
Yeah.
He goes, then you don't have a team. You have 5 people that don't get along.
Yeah, and people need to realize too, and you know, maybe at the end of this little rant, we could share, you know, our core values and
Yeah.
kind of see where we stand. But that's something that I put into place in my company a while ago, and you know, because I always knew them. It was a reflection of me. It was a reflection of my dad. You know, when we started the business, and we had our core values, but it was never shared or cascaded throughout the company. And as the company grows, I think Walter even touched on this, it becomes its own living, breathing entity, right? And it has to behave against its own set of values, its own set of morals that everybody needs a guideline to be able to follow. They can't just follow their own because otherwise everybody's different, and then you just have organized chaos, right? So being able to have those values, and I have 6 personally in my organization, you know, I'm thinking we may even need to scale that back even more. Haven't run that past the team yet, so if you're watching, surprise! But you know,
meeting starts Monday.
but you know, when Walter was like, he's got those 2 core values for his family, it made me realize the impact of less is more.
Yep.
You know, and I think there's a lot to be said about that. So, Rich, you got values and
Yeah, I set them in place when I fully took over. I have boards around my office, so it has the 5 core. We have five core values. It has our mission statement that I wrote from here, the vision from here. It's up on the board, letting everyone know that all the work that they're putting in, the time. These are the mission and vision things. You know, the people that dedicate their time to helping us build and grow this thing are gonna reap those benefits. I'm gonna make sure of it. The core values, when I sat down and I did them, I said I want it to be simple. Malachi cares obviously number 1.
Mhm.
You know, and that. I'm not going to go in depth into what all these things mean. I do have them all drawn out, but you know, care is communication at the end of the day, and that means communication to all people, respect, generosity, urgency, and team. So they're all simple words. It's like, oh, it's basic. They're basic. I'm basic. I've been told I'm basic at least 10 times today by
Yes,
Lisa.
absolutely.
So, but I feel like it's the simplicity of it that we talk that we live, and it's not that these people don't have generosity or they don't have this team stuff, but we need to talk about it. We need to remind ourselves about it and what those things actually embody. Generosity. You know, I'm willing to give everything I got to you guys and gals. This is a marriage, you know, and I'm not asking you to give me what I would, you know, give me back what I'm going to give you, but how about giving me some of those core values back? Give me some of the care and the respect and the team effort that we need. That's what, so we have these things. I have it all drawn out, and you probably have things drawn out.
Mm-hmm.
But it was simple. But this actually made me think, I want to kind of revisit this, and I might shift and change some of this stuff.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think one of the important things to think about, because this word culture gets thrown around a lot these days, right? Everyone talks about culture, and you got to have a good culture and what that means. You got to have core values, and what does that mean? And you know, you don't want. I hear this a lot, right? In some of the books that I read and some of the people I hear talk, but people say, well, you don't want your core values to be status quo. You don't want them to be, you know, reflective of everybody else's core values, you know, Walmart's or Coca-Cola's or whatever. But here's what I've learned through everything that I've heard is that that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. If you have the same core values as Walmart or Coca-Cola or Malachi or Windy City, it doesn't matter. It just has to be a reflection of your company. So whether that includes those punch words, right, like integrity or honesty or teamwork or whatever, that's fine, as long as it's an embodiment of how you want your company to behave, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely agree with that. You know, and Taz, so what Walmart has some core values. You know any off the top of your head?
Yeah, so you're gonna put me on the spot here. Let me see
if you know any. I mean, one,
let
two.
me see if I can remember. So it's a funny story. You're talking about your 5, or sorry, you had 7, you had 6, and you have 5, right? So Sam Walton built 3, and I'll see if I can remember all 3. A few years back, one of the CEOs added a 4th, right? So, so respect for the individual is one of them. Okay, service to the customer is the second one. Give me a minute. The third one's going to come to me, but the 4th one that was added was act with integrity, right? So you talk about that, like, so you have those words, and you talk about them being basic, but it's literally what Sam did with his. So he used, so respect for the individual is like, that sounds basic, right? But you keep it basic, because respect for the individual, you can't make that complicated. You, me, it's respect, right? If you don't give it, that's fine. I'm still giving it back, right? Because you want to be that, that's fine. I'm not going to play on your level. It's not happening, right? So in Walmart, right, people talk about it. You've seen it. It's all over the internet, right? You Google it, right? People throwing a fit, throwing shit at people. Like, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But that respect for the individual, it's part of that, right? And then service the customer, and then act with integrity, right? Like, that's a big one.
Yes.
That got added. We had some high level people that did some just stupid crap, right? Power went to the head. Walmart's not happy about it. It's a little embarrassing, but like, you have that many people, it happens. But that act with integrity kind of comes, especially in the last 10 years, 20 years. Walmart's really grown up and got in with the whole like inclusion and diversity piece, which is just beautiful, right? And it pairs with that respect for the individual, right? And talking about the message this morning, right? Like, give it to me, right?
Give it to me.
Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. No, come here. Give them to me, right?
Yep.
Like, what do you say? Your sister and your brother aren't smarter than you.
Yep.
Your values are messed up.
Yeah. Right.
Give them to me.
Yes.
Right. So, I'll remember the 4th one here in a minute. But we had 3 forever. We had the 4th one, act with integrity, which act with integrity is my favorite one, right? Because I come from the South, right? And when people talk about, man, if I straight up said that to somebody, I mean, my mom would have slapped me into 1985, like, right? And so I grew up with that, right? And people are like, man, your mom must have slapped you a lot. I'm like, no, I didn't cross that threshold, right? So as I grew up, and I became a man. I'll tell you, my mom slapped me one time. I'm not lying. She was wearing a blue shirt, and it was in our kitchen back in Arkansas, right? And that was the reset button. I won't even lie to you. And it was like, nope, yep, I had that coming. All right.
Yeah.
Right. So when people talk about, respect for the individual, I remember this one time. Yeah, I crossed that threshold and bad things happen. So you're fired up about that, right?
Gotta be fired up about it. And these are all just words until people that are in coaching and leadership positions give them meaning. So we have to give them meaning. So they're just words until we actually give them legs to breathe and grow. And I don't kumbaya, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying here.
So we got some comments.
All right, what do we got?
I bet a Walmartian's got the 4th one for me.
So Chris Rowley says teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
Quentin says only need 2 core values: honesty and integrity. Always be honest and have the integrity to always remain honest. Those are his 2 core
There you go.
values.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Hey,
Anything else up there?
Walter Bonnet too.
Off topic, yes.
Off topic?
Yeah. Your sister over here is
what did she
fired
say?
up about PMs and how urgent they are when 600 people have units down.
We talked about that probably last week. All this craziness that's going on in the service industry.
And you can get me fired. You can get me fired up all day about that. I told this story the other day. I won't name my service company out here because they didn't do anything wrong, right? So legit, there's nothing wrong with this, right? But they put in there a 40-day lead time on a part.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Damn," he said 40 days, and I'm like, "That's actually, they're probably giving Walmart the 40-day lead. It's probably 60 for everybody else. Call them and tell them to do better." No, I can't. Yeah. I'm not calling them, telling them that. But how is it 40 days? How are they? I'm like, are you paying attention to anything in the world right now?
Yeah.
Does anybody else have that part? It's possible, but I'm not calling around for you.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal: this particular company, big company, right?
Mhm.
And the person that put the note in, I know for a fact, called
They
all of
probably
their
checked already.
branches.
Yeah. They
And
probably
everybody
checked.
was like, nope.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and additionally too, don't you think that if there was any possible way that company would do it, because number one,
Yeah.
cash flow, right? And we were talking about for-profit businesses, and number two, obviously they value Walmart's business. Why would
right.
so?
Do you think she wanted to write 40-day
No,
leave in that
of course
service
not.
channel where you know?
Yeah.
I guarantee you she walked over to her boss and went, it's 40 days. What do I do?
Yeah. How do we say
Be
this to the
honest.
customer?
Okay.
It's hard to deliver that message.
Yeah.
And that's what, and you think that the person on the other end of the phone is going to be a little understanding because they're watching the news. They're not living under, the rock.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
look, 40 days.
40 days.
40 days and 40 nights and no high limit for this fryer.
Does it
Well,
suck? Yes.
Yeah, it's been,
I'm sorry.
that high limit's been out of stock for 3 months. It's not going to be here till November.
Yeah.
What can I tell you?
And this is nationwide too. I mean,
Nationwide.
this is everywhere.
Oh, it's
We're at a conference right now where we're talking to facility managers everywhere, and I'm hearing the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually learning a lot on how to deliver this information to them. Because
Mhm.
they're hearing it from service companies all over the place, and it's never an easy conversation to have, right?
No.
It just isn't. And
But that's the thing. What do we tell you? Don't hide it.
right?
Like,
You have to
yeah,
communicate.
I know she didn't want to put that note in that work order,
Yep.
but she did. Like, submit.
Yeah, these are hard conversations to have. Sometimes companies don't want to have them.
Yeah.
At least you have a company that's giving it to you. Like, listen, it's going to be 40 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Some people could just ghost you.
Yeah.
And say
Yeah,
nothing. And then you're
seriously.
chasing them down because, like, I don't want to tell them.
Or they'll underpromise, right? Or overpromise, I should
Over
say.
promise, underdeliver.
Give me a week. I'm going to see if I can't do something for you.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, it's bad. It's bad out there.
It's
The
bad.
equipment, there's 15
All
weeks
day
on back orders on certain things for
Yep.
certain fryers that I'm hearing. I mean, is it going to get better? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Everything will level out. We'll get back to it. But the pandemic ended as fast as it started, and now we're all feeling the pressure from it all. So
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised the amount of people that are like, well, it's over, so we're back to normal, right? Nope. So 2 things.
nothing's normal about this.
We're not getting back to normal pre-pandemic. Like, everything will now be post-pandemic. Are we going to get back to normal levels where we can all catch our breath? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a new game. And if you're at RFMA, tomorrow you get to see me talking about the new game.
Yes.
New game.
I might have just seen the rehearsal. I'm not going to divulge anything. But
Yeah. No, it's
It's gonna be a good one.
Let's just say don't miss it.
Yeah,
don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
It's right.
But if you can't be here, I'm pretty sure they load it on YouTube like a couple weeks later.
They will. They have
So-
a nice production for
So
you.
yeah. So
So you'll be able to see it again. But
but-
yeah.
And then Josh, you want to mention what you're going to be talking about too?
Yeah. So I don't open the Rift Talks. I don't close the Rift Talks. I'm smack dab in the middle, which is exactly where I want to be.
Stuck in
Uh,
the middle.
That's right. And so I will be talking about the skilled labor shortage. Actually, a lot of the things that we're talking about now. I've been wanting to talk on this topic way before the pandemic too, and the pandemic just kind of accelerated everything. Made it.
No, you're talking now, buddy.
Yeah. It was all right. Yep.
It's 2020. and
Now
we're
let's
having a
talk about this, which is great. I'm super excited to talk. So I go on at 8:08 a.m. Yeah, that's right, 8:08 a.m. Don't miss it.
Crown Ballroom,
Crown Ballroom.
Charlotte
Yeah.
Convention Center.
Yep.
If you're not here, well, you won't see it live.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all that means.
And before we wrap up this live, if you guys just want to give your thoughts on last night's meetup for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We can close out with that. I'm definitely fired up about the turnout. I think we had 16 say they were coming. We knew a couple of people were bringing maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people with them, but we had 41 show up, and they just kept adding tables to the tables,
Yep.
and then they had booths. So it was pretty cool to see everybody just coming out and
Yep.
breaking bread with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We gave it and true to our style, right? We gave the servers mad tips and T-shirts.
Yep.
As we know, and man, that guy was. I mean, they were all running, right? But the young
Yeah.
individual, the young guy,
Yeah.
like he was sweating it, right? And so I'm back there paying my bill, and I'm like, dude, it's cool. He's like, I'm so sorry it took so long. I'm like,
Oh, they did a good
I said,
job.
this whole table, like all these people in here are food industry professionals. Everybody out there.
This is the kind of
It's
part
on
you
your
want
stand.
here.
understands and is on your team and on
Yeah.
your side. So
And I
shout out to Midwood Barbecue.
Yeah, Midwood.
Yeah,
Park,
Midwood. Yeah. Bravo, man. They were fantastic.
Beautiful job.
Yeah, that brisket was. I did not need a knife.
Yeah.
I didn't need sauce either. Like normally with brisket, I like a little barbecue sauce
Yeah.
on it. But anytime I go somewhere new, right? Like you knock that first piece off just to like, what did the cook do with the meat? Nope, no sauce. They're like, you want sauce, Tess? I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I took that meat down just like the chef made it.
Yeah.
But the sauces were really good too.
The sauces were good. I
I
had
didn't
the
get
pulled
the
pork.
sauces.
Pulled pork was had a nice smoke to it. It was, man, it was phenomenal. And so thank you to everyone, Fed Nation, everyone who was there last night, taking the time to come. Thanks to Jonathan Alexander for helping to schedule it and get it together.
The new official restaurant picker outer for the Fed Nation.
Yes,
That was
Yes.
legit.
it was a good one.
No
So
disappointment there.
And that vlog should be available tomorrow for everyone to see that meetup as well.
beautiful. All right, so I think we're taking this one down. 3 guys in the hotel room, fired up. I don't know if we'll have time for tomorrow, but if we do, we'll try. But I doubt it since we're leaving tomorrow. You guys are going on early. You're talking. You got things going on. So this might be the last time you see us 3 in a room until FedCon, maybe.
Till
Big
FedCon.
time.
You gonna have them?
Oh no, we'll be.
You gonna have them?
Not,
You're not
You're
going
gonna
to
have them? No.
I'll be there.
At least 2.
I'll be in
Right
that
together.
at least 2.
Well,
Then
we'll
FedCon, we'll get 3.
Maybe me and Rich will
And I heard
scrape
about a
together
cardboard
plane
like a
ticket.
cutout or something. We should get a cutout of Josh.
There you
I'll
go.
sponsor it. That sounds like a great idea.
We're gonna get a cardboard cutout.
Yeah, we gotta
Let's
have
put that on the board.
All
Just,
right.
just drag it around with it.
I think we need one of Quentin too, because
We should
he
do
doesn't
that.
want to fly. So
True. And you know what? I mean, we might as well just cut to the chase and get one of everybody.
We should.
You
We should
know,
get
so
cardboard
whenever
cutouts.
we're without each other,
have
we
you
can
seen have you seen those? Have you seen the Simpson painting where it's like all the characters from all the seasons in the back? That's what
Is
we're
that what
gonna
we're
do.
gonna do for
Let's
bedroom?
just get everybody right now. Like right now, as of today, everybody in the Fed group. I need a headshot.
yeah.
How
That'd
does
be
that
amazing.
happen? So.
Guys, gals, appreciate you. Stay fired up wherever you are. Lisa, we're taking it down.
Yes.
Stay fired up. See you mañana.